cider and a switchblade knife. Rob the dog out his motorbike. Looking for legends on the Sunset Strip with a stone cold paranormal partnership. That's what town Rick tried to sell me some crack. Listen to this podcast, man, and take that shit back. It's Urban Legends, the podcast about urban legends. And here your host, Neil and Chris. You'll receive our pod in your ears tonight.
Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Urban Legend, the podcast about urban legends, myths, monsters, and all kinds of crazy shit. I am AAA rated host Chris Flynn, and with me is competition winner Mr.
Neil Herbert.
That's it. Say it nice and clearly into the microphone.
So
well done. So this must be a very a big deal for you, being on a podcast.
It is, yeah. You know,
it is. You won. You entered the competition.
I'm a dying child, and
you got all those vouchers off the back.
Not
of
sure
the...
what that £99 administration fee was for. But...
So just administration. It says. Clues and title. You obviously sent in those tokens you got from the back of the Urban Legend cereal boxes.
Yeah,
150 of them.
And the golden ticket from all the Urban Legends chocolate bars I've been eating.
Yeah,
that's what caused my fatal disease.
They were Urban Legendicious.
Terminal diabetes.
Lovely. So
really.
Yes, it is lovely. It is. It's lovely that you have diabetes.
Yeah,
okay.
Right. Thank you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I've got to say early on, you're becoming quite an unruly guest. You know, don't forget, you're here under my duress. You're
yeah,
you're simply a competition winner.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I understand that you are going on holiday tomorrow. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Where are you going? Going somewhere tropical? Enjoy the beaches? Go and see some
Central
sun?
Europe.
Central Europe, okay.
Yeah. Brussels, the chocolatey place.
Brussels and the chocolate factory.
Chocolate, waffles,
Strong
and
beer.
a tight, strong beer, delicious, strong triple beer.
Yep.
And tiny statue of a little boy pissing.
Yep. Lovely. And nice buildings.
Yeah.
Organised crime. Diamond trades.
Nice. What more can you ask for?
You picking up some diamonds?
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not.
You're gonna pop them into your urethra and go over the border?
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not.
Okay. And are you going anywhere else? Or, you're going to Luxembourg, is that right?
Yes, we're ending up in Luxembourg. So, Germany, going to pop over the border, check out Cologne, a bit of Luxembourg, then back home.
Yep. So why Luxembourg? Just to say you've done it?
Yeah, tick off another country, basically.
Yeah, you're not going to dislodge some of those diamonds from your urethra and put them into a dodgy Luxembourg bank account?
I mean, obviously, if you know,
I mean, you can
if
see
I
why
were
I'm
doing
asking,
something like that, then
you can see why I'm asking these questions.
I mean, this is evolved from a
because this doesn't feel like a holiday that a sane person would have. This feels like a crime.
They accused me of being insane. I don't think I've ever demonstrated normal behaviour, so I don't know where you're getting that from.
This kind of route you're taking, along with your Portslade upbringing, says to me that this is a crime crime that's going to be in progress.
Fucking Colombo.
Well,
maybe keep your nose out of it. Maybe your sticky beaks get chopped off.
Well, I was down
scratching around for things that got nothing to do with them.
Hey, look, things are tense in Portslade at the moment. I know that. I had to go to Southampton to broker a peace because let's just say certain supply chain issues were coming to a head. Things were getting a bit heated. There was a lot of drive-bys in Littlehampton.
Yeah, well, that'll happen.
So obviously
the old village just running red with blood.
they got me in because, you know, I'm seen as a neutral. I can broker a peace, and now I'm hearing that you're diamond smuggling from
I think you want to wind your
Brussels
neck in, to be honest with you.
All right.
Not your turf.
No, nothing's my turf, and also it's all my turf.
Mm-hmm.
Behind the scenes, the guy behind the guy,
big mouth,
big mouth, small trousers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, will you let us know how your trip goes when you get back?
I'll let you know when I get back. Yeah, I'm unsure whether I'm still playing a competition winner or.
It's the same thing.
Doesn't matter, does it? Yeah,
it's the same thing. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So after you've had the reconstructive surgery on your urethra, then you'll get back in. You'll let us know how it's gone.
Yeah, you know, worth it, isn't it? For all that money that I'm going to be making, apparently. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, I'm glad we've covered that.
Likewise. Glad we gave that an airing.
Good. So, what are we talking about today, young lads?
Well, we've mentioned
boy.
Yeah, we've mentioned him in previous episodes. La Llorona? No, not La
Lyon.
Lyon. Or Le Lyon, or whatever it was.
Lyon.
Lyon, I think it was. Was he based in? Actually, was he based in Belgium? Was he in France?
No, he's in Switzerland.
Or was he Switzerland? Oh, okay. Some other French-speaking country.
Yeah, because if you remember, you went from begging the Swiss to send you free chocolates to massively slating the country, all in the.
It sounds very like the kind of thing I do.
Yeah, in about 10 minutes, you kind of completely turned on them.
Yeah, sounds like me.
Yeah.
I'm a mercurial character, Chris. What can I say?
Yeah, agent of chaos.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, so, he was the guy with the gas mask strolling through the woods.
Yeah, he'd go out for walks in a, shall we say, a slightly eccentric dress. And he reminded me of someone I'd read about and done some investigation as a potential. I mean, it's one we'll quickly understand is it became kind of like a bit of an urban legend, and it probably isn't one that's going to be around for, well, who knows, it might haunt people for centuries. But, you know, based on some real life events. So, yeah, this is, it's going to be an interesting one. So now we're going to be talking about the Somerset Gimp.
Gimp.
Yeah. But as I was doing my research, there's also
here we go.
There's an Essex Gimp as well. So, and he's got something to say.
And I'm talking to a Brighton Gimp.
Tale of Two Gimps. Well, funnily enough, no, I did do some. So I then started trying to research on Brighton Gimps because I was thinking, what is it? How big a thing is this?
This is sounding a bit convenient.
Yeah. To be honest with you, now my adverts for Google are extremely interesting. There's some things popping up. And I was thinking, we're going to claim that this is just like I'm back, kind of justified.
When the police come and knocking, you're gonna say, well, it was research for this podcast.
Yeah, because I didn't turn my off on or whatever. I was researching on my phone. Anyway,
look, whatever your proclivities are, Neil, I don't mind. But I'd rather they didn't affect the podcast.
No, I was just thinking because, like, it's Brighton, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone knocking around in a gimp suit, and they seem to be. And I don't know how big a thing they were like before Pulp Fiction. I'm sure it was like some like leather fetish in a sub community.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
You know,
but it's not. It's not going out where. It's not pop shops where.
Well, you say that, but the Essex Gimp makes it. So there's one who treats it in a respectful fashion here, and there's somebody who's treating it in a disrespectful fashion, and you'll see the difference between the two. So how to behave yourself
and being a big part of the community, you're a solid arbiter of which is respectful and which is.
Well, I will just say the one thing I did see on the Brighton side, there was a guy. So it's during the Pride March, and you've got what I can describe as a leather daddy. The mask is attached to a chain, which and he's in a sort of grey.
Is the mask also attached to your face?
It is. Well, you'd have to have a look and see if the body shape looks familiar, Chris. Whether is it me or not? But it's like a dog mask, so I don't know if there's like a furry thing going on as well. I don't know.
They're different.
Or it's just like a dom sub, you know.
Yeah,
he's like the dog or something.
Yeah. Depends what you're in. Yeah,
good luck to you. Not
gimps aren't all one thing.
No.
There are different sub Gimp categories,
Just to
aren't
be
there?
clear, we're not here to sort of cast aspersions at anyone, as long as, you're not doing it to scare people, which is what our friend the Somerset Gimp, but no, they're our antagonists, I suppose.
No, if it's something you enjoy, go for it. As far as I'm concerned.
That's good, as long as you're not hurting anyone.
We're only here once. Like, fucking fill your boots.
Yeah.
Whatever gets lead in your pencil, Neil. That's what I've always said. Did you like the way that I winked and lifted up my cup of coffee as I said that?
Yeah, that's
good.
Caffeine in your case.
Mm.
So we'll be exploring it from a few angles, and there's some breaking developments as well. So we'll see what's going on.
You from a few angles.
You chance to be a phone thing.
Promises.
Wouldn't you like to, etc. Right. Latex-clad Gimp returns to Somerset and is seen writhing and crawling on ground. This is from Somerset Live. This is going to be very puerile and immature, by the way, listeners. So,
we also just get circuses.
A driver said he had white crosses placed over his eyes. What I'm loving as well is he's in Somerset. And just imagine everyone talking like that.
Yeah. Oh, you saw a Gimp down on the green.
Well, he's one of those rubber lads. All are covered head to toe from PVC, writhing around.
He's one of those.
Quite a scare.
He's one of those rubber grockles who've heard so much about.
He probably is a grockle, to be fair. Actually, again,
don't know.
We may find out.
Could just be a farmer.
Yeah, could be. Wow, actually,
farmers are sexual creatures as well, Neil. Don't forget
it. Keep that in your back pocket, because hang on.
I will do.
Yeah. A man dressed in a late. Don't want to spoil it for the listeners. Don't worry, Neil. We already know the whole story. Like, all those guys in Brooklyn and stuff. Oh yeah, well, Somerset Gimp. Don't worry,
it's huge over here.
No, look, we've got my Somerset Gimp tat. Look,
Somerset Gimp college varsity jacket.
Yeah. Well, he sponsors the Chicago Red Bulls, doesn't he? College team. Yeah.
He does. Yeah, the hockey team.
Yeah. Right. Anyway. A man dressed in a latex Gimp suit who terrorised the quiet Somerset village has been rearrested after striking again.
Ugh.
A woman driving home in Bleedon late last night was left terrified after spotting a man dressed in a black latex suit writhing and crawling in Accommodation Road. Officers arrived on the scene within 3 minutes and located the suspect, a man in his 30s, nearby. Has previously been arrested on suspicion of causing public nuisance in relation to incidents in Cleve, Clapham and Yatton in October last year. He remains under investigation for these incidents. The female driver issued a warning on social media after coming across the man on her journey home.
Warning?
It's a badger.
What?
She initially thought it was a badger. She's crawling around in Leeds and stuff, I guess. The woman who didn't give her name said, as soon as I got over the first railway bridge, I noticed something on the ground which I thought was a badger. As I got closer, I could see it wasn't. But yeah. And then I thought, not too many badgers have got a set of muscles like that. In fact, the man with a mask on who was crawling and writhing on the ground. I mean, there's a size differential, isn't there? So,
yeah, there is. Yeah, but I guess if you're driving and it's at a bit of a distance,
yeah. So, because you might have just seen
out the corner of your eye. I mean, like there's, probably because like the human minds. You probably there's a large black thing writhing around. You'd probably think badger rather than Gimp, wouldn't you? Because
it wouldn't be my first. It wouldn't be my first thought.
Because on what's it like? The old what's it likely to be dropped down in your old memory?
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Badger probably, then dog, then
it's like if you're flipping down the ones on. Again, where it's like, you'll go with like hats and glasses first before you go to a Gimp suit because there's only one or two that you're going to put down on that, Guess Who, or whatever that game was called. Oh, I imagine there was a Gimp in Guess Who. Yeah. Right, that's good. Yeah, so he had 2 white crosses on his eyes and was all in black. I've honestly never been so frightened in my entire life and drove away so fast.
Why were you frightened?
Well, you don't know what this person is up to, do you?
Yeah, but you're in a fucking car.
Well, yeah. Well, it'd still shoot you up, though, wouldn't it? I guess.
No, it wouldn't.
You're a woman by yourself. I mean, yeah, you can get away, but I don't know. Somebody writhing around in Leeds,
What? No, but then you're driving past. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
like, she had a
okay.
very charmed life. If that's the most frightened she'd ever been.
Fair enough.
No, do you know? But I mean, yeah, it's weird, and you go, oh, like that's. But I mean, it's not. You're in a fucking car. Do you know what I mean?
Can't control what she's afraid of. It just,
Sounds like a Tory.
Fair enough. Anyway, actually, this is one of the after the arrest. So I thought this one was a bit earlier, but so let's have a look at one of these other ones. So this is a slightly earlier one, I think, because there's been several sightings even going back to 2016. Let's have a look. This is from the Daily Express, one of our favourite sources of information.
Beautiful.
Forest Gimp. New stomach-churning video of sighting of prowler speaking demon language.
Stomach churning.
Forrest
I mean,
Gimp.
like...
Yeah, I mean, people do get photos.
Right, yeah, I just got it like Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Two Somerset-based chefs recorded a video of the infamous Somerset Gimp who has terrorised the West Country since 2019. But the perpetrator's latest attempt at intimidation appears to have backfired, so you'll be more pleased with these lads. So two chefs turned the tables on the infamous Somerset Gimp last week after encountering the West Country stalker writhing around on the floor of an area of woodland. The pair, Alex Warren, 19, and Charlie Bond, even, 20, recorded a gimp-suited man who approached them in Cleeve, North Somerset, during the early morning around 12:25 a.m. on Tuesday, October 25th. They recorded a video showing the man's disturbing ritual, which saw him squirm on the ground and speak in tongues, but the onlookers appeared unfazed. And see, this is the thing. If you're going to start doing weird shit like this, you need people to be frightened, because these guys obviously just thought it was fucking hilarious. And that's going to... I think I might have mentioned this as well when we talked about it before, but it reminds me a little bit of... there's a funny one... David Cross. Yeah. Have I already mentioned this story? Yeah. I won't go through it again, but... Or not loads, because people won't necessarily listen to it. I don't remember what that episode was, but yeah, effectively, he thought it would be... Oh, it wasn't Lilian, was it? Yeah. So yeah, he thought it'd be funny to put on a gimp suit and pretend it was a sleeping mask, and was really embarrassed when sort of like 15 minutes later, nobody
when it was on a plane
cared about it when it was on a plane, and then just had to embarrass him. He thought, take it off and pretend nothing had ever happened. Anyway, listen to the Leon for the full story there, or in fact the David Cross.
I mean, could it be that? So dogs do that, don't they? Like if there's been like a fox has kind of marked territory, a dog will go and rub itself all over the territory. So maybe he's doing something like that.
I mean, I don't know whether he's... I mean, what his motivations are, I think, remain inscrutable to the end on this. I mean, he's obviously trying to get a kick out of scaring people, but I mean, quite why you do that over a number of years, why you do it at all?
I mean, it's kind of like having a lack. It's like you know, your first album was really good, but then you can't come up with something for your second, so you end up sort of just rehashing it. It's kind of that kind of thing, right? Like he thought, he came up with this like absolute banger of an idea to put on a gimp suit and ride around
in the forest. Yeah.
But and he was like, right, what's next? And you can imagine like pacing back and forth and like
straight back into the same.
Just do that. Just have to do it again. I can't think of anything else. Yeah. And you know, my fans are waiting, I guess.
Yeah, I assume they love it. Yeah. So as the man approached them, he dropped to the grassy floor and started writhing around while muttering unintelligible words. His speech was high-pitched and quite different from writhing around on the floor speaking some demon language. Mr. Warren said the bizarre display was a clear attempt at intimidation that had backfired spectacularly because he ultimately realised they weren't scared of him. And I got some pictures here of him. I mean, he's just a bloke in a latex suit writhing around in leaves and things. So he's operated in the West Country for at least the last 3 years, with 16 separate incidents recorded since 2019. Most commonly in Claverham and Yatton, but also popped up in nearby Cleeve. So he likes to get about.
Yeah, that's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, put some effort in, to be fair.
Spread the joy.
Yeah, he's on tour. They said the man is a local legend in the area who is known all about. So there you go, he's a bit of an urban legend. Buster Warren said the guy's a legend around here and has been doing it for years. We were literally out on the green in Cleeve for about 10 minutes before we saw this drunk guy stumbling down. He started interacting with us. Quite obvious who he was. The guy's a local legend, is known all about.
Oh, so he's pissed as well.
Well, this is what they think. So, yes. Can you imagine that? Yeah, you just
come from the local, like drinking loads of scrumpy at the local, and then right, I better be off then,
or something.
And then sticks on the Gimp.
You be careful. You drink too much of that Jack, you'll go and make a scene of yourself. Because we aren't judging in the community here, but you've got your ways. Maybe not everyone's.
Not everyone's open minded. We are.
They must get scared, even though they're driving. And should, according to Chris, shouldn't feel any fear at all. You can just drive away.
Oh, he's some judgmental guy.
Let's not get into that
podcast.
Trying to give you a voice, boy. You want to be listening more about Chris is? No, this story don't make any sense. It's got no logic to it at all. Again, don't start getting into the metaphysics of it. Trying to give you some good advice here, boy. I don't know where that Somerset accent was going, but anyway, it's all over. It was
good.
Show. Yeah, anyway, he had latex gloves apparently and was covered in an earthy liquid like he'd been rolling around in fields or dunking in septic tanks.
Mm.
I mean, imagine what it's like inside the sea. That's what's happening outside.
Well, I mean, but is there anything to be said that maybe his job is to unblock septic tanks, and this is actually quite a good uniform for it because it seals him in.
Seals him in, keeps him antiseptic.
Yeah, no, it means that
he can slip in and out of areas.
It could well just be the most practical uniform for the job. It could be.
It's just going to all be just a terrifying set of coincidences.
But because the job is, let's be honest, terrible, cleaning out septic tanks, he likes a few drinks.
As anyone would.
As anyone would. Yeah. And then he ends up falling down and trying to wipe it all off in the leaves before.
I mean, that is my kind of thing. Is you could imagine it's like you imagine getting blackout drunk and you're like, oh, what did I do last night? And then you start getting that, you're getting the fear.
Yeah.
And you look down by the bed and there's just like an empty Gimp suit with covered in leaves with an earthy smell. Oh, what happened?
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as I was worried about.
Oh, it was a Tuesday. Oh, fair enough.
Oh, that's good. As long as I didn't embarrass myself.
Yeah. Oh, I almost thought I'd made it. Yeah. So it's quite pungent with this earthy sort of smell. When I stood there, it was quite terrifying to start off with. He's just a man, but it takes a moment to process it when you're trying to discern whether to fight, flight, or freeze. He added he was definitely trying to intimidate us. Once the adrenaline kicked in, he quickly realised they weren't afraid. Instead, they took the opportunity to poke fun and offered him a cigarette.
Would you like a cigarette?
Just roll one up. You want one yourself? Oh, hang on. Where are you going to put it? After a minute or two, he realised that we were two lads, a few beers down. My mate is 6'9". Fucking hell. And a force to be reckoned with.
Stephen Merchant.
Yeah. Once he realised the initial shock had turned into humour, he got up and took the cigarette.
All right, yeah, I'll have one actually.
Yeah. Oh, fuck it. The pair also told him to get home safely, to which the Gimp quite clearly said, oh, I will try.
Good day. Well, I will try. Oh, I certainly will try.
Thoroughly bested gentlemen.
Wow.
A lovely evening. If you excuse me, I'll take the air.
I can tell I met my match with you two. No harm, no foul. Good day.
Such young men, we are terribly jaded, aren't we? Perhaps one of these nights I'll come upon you on one of my other guises. Until then, au revoir. Yeah. Anyway, apparently they rang the police after this, and
why?
Yeah, and then he got arrested. Well, we'll come.
What's it? But why? They're a bit police happy, these lot, aren't they?
Well, if he's out trying to scare folk, because they did say they'd heard of him, and
but being scared isn't against the law, is it?
Well, we'll find out, Chris.
Oh, okay.
And one of the comments underneath says, "So that's what Jacob Rees
fucking nanny state."
Yeah. Well, you can't go out and terrify people in your Gimps there anymore. We'll be hearing. We're going to move on to another member of the quote unquote Gimp community in a second. So
lovely.
Hold your horses. So that's what Jacob Rees-Mogg, Conservative MP for North East Somerset, gets up to in his spare time. Then says one of the commentators
I was literally thinking it might be him.
Because he's quite a skinny fella as well.
Yeah.
Well, possibly not as tall. I don't know how tall Jacob Rees-Mogg is. He seems like he should be tall. I don't know if it's just because he's such a skinny lad.
The streak of piss.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look.
No, I mean, I thought I was thinking it could be him who's the Gimp.
No, exactly, yeah.
Because the Gimp isn't tall, is he?
Oh, that's a good point, actually. I don't know why I'm... No, the Gimp isn't tall.
You're conflating it with Sleeper Merchant.
I think Jacob Rees-Mogg is quite tall, but I could be wrong about that. He might just be very skinny.
I'll look it up for you.
You do that, and I will break out what the Essex Gimp has to say. So he was interviewed by The Independent, and he tells us the Somerset Gimp is giving us Gimps a bad name. The self-styled Gimp man of Essex who's been roaming the streets...
He's 6'2".
Oh, okay, so no, not that. Well, tall enough, but you're not that tall.
Ain't all that.
So the self-styled Gimp man of Essex has been running the streets of Colchester for 9 years.
Self-styled. Yeah. Anyone who's self-styled is always brilliant.
I mean, yeah, you're not getting that at Marks and Spencer's, are you? Yeah, giving yourself names as well.
Yeah,
it's not quite calling himself the governor, but...
I mean, it's not far off.
He's concerned about the reputation of Gimps across the country. This is an independent
self-styled Gimp spokesman.
Yeah, pretty much. So every couple of weeks, the Gimp man of Essex climbs into his skin-tight latex suit and hood with the help of a generous dusting of talcum powder.
Yep, you need to.
You'd want to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we know that already.
And heads into Colchester. Sometimes he does his weekly shop at Tesco. Otherwise, he simply wanders around aimlessly. He's been doing
Colchester, as we've said in previous episodes, because we know some people who are from there, is a squaddy town.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's the best place to be going in to just get beaten up by some squaddies.
Well, this is what he said. On my walks, I have to be as normal as possible. Obviously, you're walking around in a mask, but if you actually talk to people, they usually react really well. They see the fun element. Has he ever experienced the backlash? Some people make the odd negative comment, but usually their friends will tell them off. Some people don't like me being in a suit.
No, leave him alone. He's all right.
Stop it, yeah.
Stop it. Come on.
Yeah, 99% of people...
Live and let live, Tony. Stop bothering him. Leave him alone. He's right.
He's a self-publicist, this fellow. The Gimp man of Essex, as he describes himself on his Facebook page, has become a minor celebrity in his area. Yeah, he prefers to remain anonymous.
In his mind.
Yeah. Hey, he's got 50 followers on Facebook.
That's
more than us.
Yeah.
I don't think my family would particularly understand. He's aware that his latex-clad walks are puzzling to some, but explains the suit as an outlet for him. Yada, yada, yada. It's escapism. It's like dressing up like a comic book hero, apparently. I'm just going to get to the bit where he intercepts.
I mean, probably dress up as a comic book hero, then.
I mean, yeah, that'd be another way to do it. Okay, if you want to.
Gimpman. John Gimpman.
People might think it's weird, but I'm not doing any harm. Yada, yada, yada. But then we have, wearing latex clothes doesn't mean you're a monster, but then we have the
Somerset
what it is? Gimp.
Do you know what I like? And I don't want to psychoanalyse him, but I'm going to.
Go.
It's both. It's a mixture of wanting to be anonymous, but actually
and
really
an exhibitionist,
wanting loads of attention.
But you don't want to actually put a face to it. Yeah. I would imagine that's probably fairly accurate. Well, for a couple of armchair psychologists. You keep your anonymity, but you get to be sort of like a bit shocking as well.
And everyone's looking at you, and
you can earn some attention. And fair enough.
Do a podcast, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sort of pathetic people who've got nothing to do want to command attention. Dave.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the normal route. I mean, we could both be sat here in Gimp suits. Let's face it. Who knows?
Could be. Are we, listener? Get in touch.
You to decide. The Somerset Gimp, notorious figure in the small villages of Yatling, Claverham in North Sussex. I mean, we've already gone through what he's been up to since 2016.
No, you mean North Somerset. You meant not Sussex.
Oh, North Somerset. Yes, sorry, not Sussex. Probably some revealing hints here, aren't I? Not that there's a North Sussex. We live in East Sussex.
No, there is a Portslade Gimp, though, isn't there?
Is there, Chris? You tell me. You seem very familiar with this character.
Yeah, it's almost like I know him very well.
Yeah. Or are him. When I first saw the Somerset Gimp, I thought, this is 100% wrong. This guy has done everything the Gimp community is trying to do. It gives us all a bad rep. I love the fact there's a Gimp community.
Well, of course there is.
Yeah, but they've been trying to do. I've not noticed a lot of charity work.
So they got 2.5 million from the National Lottery funding.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
a couple of weeks back.
Well, typical loony left Labour council. Of course they would.
Oh, bloody hell! Got a grant from the EU.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the thing is that the majority of people who are into
I get there's a community of people who enjoy
enjoying it, but generally
but
the majority enjoy doing it like in their own privacy. You know.
Oh, I mean, whatever. It's not. I mean, again, I don't think he's actually doing anything.
No, I don't care if he does it, but I'm not sure that the Gimp community are
doing this. No,
going. Why aren't we allowed to walk the streets in our Gimp outfits? I don't think they are. I think that's very much something which he's into, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily the majority.
It's not evident if that is the case, but
no. Yeah, I mean, like we live in the most liberal town in the UK. We more than likely, if there was a big fucking calling to be able to walk around in Gimp outfits, then we would probably see it.
Well, that's why I was looking for the Brighton Gimp thing. Isn't it like this idea of a Gimp community? Would it anyway? Yeah. Surely, somebody would be knocking around Kent Town or something, or Camden or jumping out on women however you're dressed isn't right. There are innocent guys like me who go for walks on their Gimp suits. This is the guy hiding around in the dark at night, scaring people lifeless. That's different. I wouldn't be surprised if alcohol or drugs were involved. They're asking for trouble, terrorising people like that late at night.
Judgy.
So he doesn't want to terrify anyone. He doesn't want people to feel uneasy. He doesn't go out during the day. Oh, no, he always goes out during the day, but he doesn't when it's the school holidays. A woman tried to get a photo of me, her and a child, and said, I don't think that they should be in the photo. I try hard to chat to people and make them feel comfortable. So that's the Essex Gimp's perspective on. And he has, in fact, due to his recent raise to fame, raised £3,500 for the mental health charity Mind.
Okay.
So
that's good.
Fair play. Right, back to there's the spokesman for the Gimp community.
Well,
condemning the actions.
Self-appointed.
Yeah. If you can find a better one, Chris, then.
No, but he is self-appointed.
Yeah.
Maybe the majority of the Gimp community are supportive of the...
Bang up for whatever he's up to in his leafy forest, yeah.
Maybe they, like me, don't think that he's jumping out at women by being within sight of a woman in a car. Wouldn't call that jumping out.
Right, well it's taken a surprisingly pro-Somerset Gimp term, but that's fine. So, look,
are you surprised that I've taken that?
I mean, not surprised.
Not surprised.
So, this is from the Metro, which, for listeners unfamiliar, is given away free on buses and things. So that's the quality of writing you're going to get here.
Good, isn't it?
That's the person in the glass house throwing a stone back aggressively at his own reflection. Is this the end of the line for the Somerset Gimp? For years, residents of a sleepy West Country town have been terrorised by a mysterious pervert known as the Somerset Gimp. Anyway,
what? Come on, man. Do you know what use it is? That kind of hateful language.
Well, wait, mate. Here's what he's been up to now. So,
here we go.
His reign of terror may finally have come to an end.
Reign of terror. He's like Stalin.
He's like the French Revolution. Some guy dressed in latex. So he saw a man in his 30s arrested in the village of Cleve following an encounter with two teenagers on a Friday night, Chris.
Yeah, what age teenagers?
19-year-old, who asked not to be named.
So an adult.
Described the freaky late-night encounter which saw him and a friend stumble across the marsh danger, flopping on the floor, writhing and grunting.
That's the same story as before?
No, these are different ones. They were lads in their 20s who were out, they'd been off work from being chefs or something. So they initially thought the man wearing blue latex gloves, clad head to toe in a dark mud-stained bodysuit, might have been drunk because of the way he's moving. So I do think he's on the sauce every time he's doing that.
Yeah. Have a few drinks, get the suit on, go down the woods.
Time to party. As he approached the two teens, he
loneliness can do strange things.
Well, yeah, we'll listen to this.
During COVID, I got really into Twitch. So do you know what I mean? No, it can do strange things to the mind.
He approached he took a step up off the pavement, arched his body, and flopped to the ground without putting his hands out to catch himself. His outfit was shiny with some sort of liquid, and he was glistening in the torchlight. It smelled really earthy. You could really smell it even after he'd gone, apparently. Yeah, so there's all of that.
Well, and so how's this perverted? Why has he been arrested for this? Like,
we'll get now to...
and also 19 as an adult?
We'll get now to the Daily Mail article. So, unmasked. Man accused of being Somerset Gimp appears
but the Metro said pervert.
Take it up with webnews at metro.co.uk if you've got a problem with that. That's what they've said.
I would do, but I've already got 18 pending complaints against them.
Right, so we move on to the actual arrest and unmasking. So, unmasked, man appears of being Somerset Gimp, man accused of being Somerset Gimp, appears in court after terrifying women by jumping out there in country lanes dressed in a black latex suit. And it's harassment.
Well, if he's jumping out, but so far there's been none of that.
Fair enough. Well, we'll just take it as read then. So, I'm going to...
Look, I'm not. Look,
I want you to put an image in your head.
So what I'm going to say,
but you're defending it. You're defending your team sex pest. That's fine.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's fine. That's why I'm wearing this team sex pest baseball jersey.
I mean, that should have been a clue.
No, but what I'm saying is, so far, I don't think that he had done anything
wrong.
From
what's been described. Yeah, yeah.
Now, if he's jumping out at people, that's a different thing. But I think it's very easy. Like what it feels like at the moment, because he's different than people are calling the police and stuff. But I don't think that he's actually done anything wrong. Like, it might be weird for you to see someone rolling around in the leaves, but like, you're allowed to roll around in the fucking leaves. You're in there's no law against rolling around in leaves. You did,
yeah. Well, we'll find out. You didn't vote Tory to be told you can't roll around in leaves. So I've sent you through a picture.
Yeah,
so this is Joshua Hunt, 31. I mean, he looks
normal bloke,
fairly normal. I will say this: he looks like he's had a hard 31 years.
Yeah.
I mean, there's somebody who's all about poor life choices. I looked younger than that when I was 31.
You're younger than that now, Neil.
Yeah, well, I'm 45, and so yeah, I don't really. He looks about my age. Anyway, good luck to him. Or not, as the case might be, but not having a knock at his appearance. Anyway, he's appeared in North Somerset Magistrates Court, charged a connection with a series of incidents in the area. Says Joshua Hunt, 31. He did not.
I'm thinking that I might write to him and offer to represent him in court.
Married?
Yeah, get married. Yeah. Then
like those women all wrote to Ted Bundy.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, I'm just writing to Gimps.
I can change him. I can fix him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah,
why not?
So
I'm lonely.
And hang on a minute, and hold, you just to sweeten the pill here, Chris.
I like earthy scents.
Just to sweeten the pot, if it isn't sweetened up already. His address was given in court as a 1.1 million farm in the West Country village.
Oh.
So I think you might be a farmer or farm adjacent.
I might be wearing something above the knee.
So he's not put any police to the 4 charges, but they just say what he's been charged with, actually. Now, he's accused of 2 counts of affray, a count of possession of a bladed article, and committing an act of outraging public decency.
Outraging public decency is bullshit. That's bullshit. That's not a law. Well, I mean, it should, yeah, but I'm saying it shouldn't be a law, because who's the arbiter of what's decent? You, Neil?
Yeah.
You are you?
If I have my way, yeah.
Yeah, well, then, God help us all. God help us all.
I'd start being a bit less outrageous if I was you, Chris. I might end up in court. So let's have a look. It does actually describe, so Leanne Grover prosecuting alleged Hunt approached 2 lone women drivers on separate occasions on May 7th and 9th in the Bleeding area. Both women were left fearful about what was going to happen and suffered immense distress as a result. One was struck with horror and the other was terrified. And then following his arrest, they found a knife in his van. I mean, he's in his van. I don't know. Oh, an incident on October 25th last year. He was said to have grabbed his old fella over a gimp suit whilst gyrating against the floor. So I think there's probably some
like Michael Jackson.
I mean, maybe not the best, witness for the defence,
you know what?
to be honest with you. But, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and it says he terrified two women drivers. Again, were they in parked cars and he approached it, or were they driving past him?
I do not know, Chris. But
in which case, like how? I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. This just. I don't like. I'm not so like. So what I'm saying is like I don't know if this guy's good or bad or whatever. But what I'm hearing at the moment, like, it's just. I don't know. Like, it just feels like he's different and a bit weird, and he's just like. And people are going. People are affronted with having to look at him, so therefore they're. And I think that's a slippery slope.
Well, I don't know if he's trying to intimidate people.
Yeah, but you're saying if he's trying to, like, I mean, I
think there was a couple of other pictures where somewhere else where we were staring through somebody's bedroom window and things like that.
But you're saying that, but you haven't mentioned that in any of these stories, so I can only go
I'm just remembering something more I'd been,
that kind of stuff, like fine, but like from what I've heard so far, it's just like I don't know, like it doesn't sound like it's a criminal offence to dress weird and have a roll around in a park.
Around on the ground.
No.
Well, we all said we were going to do a true crime podcast one of these days, Chris. So.
Yep, I'll once I've sorted out the marriage, then I'll see if he's willing to go on tape.
Yeah. This is eventually how you get your law degree and pass the bar.
That's exactly it. Because I've got the motivation now. That was always the problem.
Run pole of the Bailey of the Gimp community.
Well, they've got a lot of money, apparently. 1.4 million reasons. I've got 1.4 million reasons to do it, haven't I?
Yeah, exactly. You want to get a taste of that farm. I mean, I assume he owns it. I don't know. He might just live there or something.
In a stable.
Yeah. Anyway, he's going. He's in court and he's going to get. So maybe we'll report back and find out what happens at the end of the trial. It's to be honest with you, I thought that was going to be more of a kind of like a light-hearted bit of fun. But there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not much more to it, to be honest with you. So yeah, been arrested. He's not going to be out terrifying the community very much longer. Sounds of things.
Well,
shall we move on to scoring, Chris?
Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to call this Gimp Tales. So, Neil, spookiness. What do you reckon?
I mean, if you're out at like 1 o'clock in the morning and somebody's acting really erratically, it would probably put me on edge, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, he's not actually hurt anyone or anything like that, but
yeah, but to be fair, you could say the same thing about walking through town at 1 o'clock in the morning with people who aren't dressed as gimps. I mean,
yeah, I'll be honest with you, walking down West Street is enough to get my anxiety meter right up. Headphones are on, I'm ignoring anyone trying to, because I know exactly, I know any encounter is not going to be one that I'm going to enjoy, so I ignore anyone trying to be like, I'm going home that route or something like that. But there you go, that's me. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously, yeah, I think for me, being a bloke walking home, it's not going to be a terrifying encounter. But I think, if you were a woman walking back, I think that would be very scary. So I'll cut down the middle and give this a 5.
5. So, yeah, it would be weird, and so it would make you like go, oh, and and it's unusual behaviour, so therefore it would set your spidey senses tingling, right? That's fair enough. I accept that. But on the other hand, I think the spookiest bit about it so far from the evidence that has been presented, and so therefore I reserve the right to completely backtrack on everything I say. But from the evidence presented so far, I think the spookiest bit is the fact that because because it doesn't, because they don't like it, because it offends them in some way, him doing his stuff, like even if they're driving past in a car, right? Oh, well, that offended my sensibilities, that kind of stuff. The fact that seems to have got him like in a proper court case and stuff, again, from the evidence so far, I think that's fucking spooky, because it's based on like, oh, well, it offended my sensibilities, kind of thing. So that, I'm kind of much more of a live and let live person. So I think I'm going to give it a 7, because the fact that the criminal justice system is pursuing this is just another step towards fascism. So believability. So it's entirely believable, and it's happening, and it's all there. So 10.
Yeah, it's pretty easy one, this, isn't it? So it's become an urban legend around the area because because what's been going on. But yeah, it's been verified now. There's definitely a person. It is happening. So yeah, it's an obvious 10.
So narrative premise, Neil. I mean, it's a wonderful story.
Well, you've got
heartwarming.
That's a heartwarming tale of man's triumph over himself. Yeah, I mean, what's the motivations? Obviously, he's having to get some Dutch courage, if you'll excuse the phrase, in him before he can go out and do these things, because a lot of the sightings allege that the person was probably drunk. How did he go from his £1 million farm to trying to scare people up in quiet country lanes?
Lonely nights in the country now.
Yeah, I think it'd be an interesting narrative premise, perhaps, for some stories. Maybe it could be. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's some. I can't really think of which.
What's his motivation? That's what we need to know.
Yeah, what drives him to do this?
I
mean, it's not. You're not going to have enough. I think you could probably get at least a short story or something out of this. Maybe a film. It's probably not. It's probably not a lot in there. But I think there's enough details and things in here to drive it a little bit. So I'm going to give it a 6.
6. So I'm on the basis that I fully believe that within 5 years this will be an 8-part ITV2 drama starring Steve Coogan. I'm going to give it an 8.
But what part does Steve Coogan play?
The Gimp.
Yeah.
So Reach. So I only know about it because you won't shut up about it. Or like on or off podcasting, this is all you ever talk about. I get several emails a day, get lots of WhatsApp messages. Have you seen the latest? That kind of thing. So I mean, to be honest, for me, it's taken over a lot of my life.
Yeah.
I've changed my number several times somehow. You keep getting it. I tell people not to give it to you. They keep doing it.
They despise you and they want to make you clever.
Apparently so. Yeah, and the saddest part of that is it's my mum normally who does it.
Yeah. Oh, that's the easy one every time.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how I know about it, but I'm not sure that it's necessarily a global sensation yet.
No, I don't suppose it is.
Or even a national one. So I think it's.
A lot of the national press. I'll say that.
So I'm going to give it a 4, Neil.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I don't think it's one that's going to resonate through time. I mean, who knows? In 2,000 years, people could be sitting around in the end times talking about the tales.
Killing each other over the teachings.
Water,
Some of them prefer the Somerset Gimp. Some of them prefer the more peaceful Essex Gimp, and then that's
some just sit on the fence, and those are perhaps worst of all.
Yeah.
So yeah, as we descend into chaos. But yeah, I doubt it, and I don't think it's, as you say, very well known either locally and certainly not internationally. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 3.
A 3, so that gives us an overall score of 53, so quite high, but that's because it's real.
Yeah. Might have juked the stats slightly on this one.
So if you are a member of the GIMP community and you'd like to set us straight on anything, then herb.legends.podcast@gmail.com, and do the comments and stuff, because it really helps other people find the podcast.
Do you know what? Because
it really helps them.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
What is it, second out of your day?
second out of your day, and it could be life-changing for us.
If it is miserably. I don't know where this is going. Yeah.
No. So yeah, that's it for this week. So yeah, hope you've got something out of whatever this was, and hope you're all safe and well, and you have a nice week. And we'll be back with more Gimp news.
Chris, the brief is to fill the best part of an hour.
Same Gimp time, same Gimp channel. Goodbye.
Goodbye.